This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You are watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Now, since I broke the news yesterday, and again, big up to Rob for letting me know when it broke, that the WBC ordered Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Now, you guys will remember as well, again, when I broke the news a few weeks or maybe a month or so ago now, that the WBC had sanctioned the rematch. In other words, if you guys want to fight, it's not a problem. Okay, we're not going to get in the way. Yes, we want our mandatory fulfilled with dominant Brazil, but if you guys really want to have to fight, we're quite happy to sit back and let you guys do that before we sanction the mandatory with dominant Brazil. But since then, these guys haven't come to an agreement, and quite clearly the WBC want that fight for whatever reason it may be, which we'll get into. It could be a case of, again, I'm just looking at some of you guys' comments and on social media and other people's videos and that as well. It's given me a lot of food for thought, and I can agree with some of it. And it could be that the WBC just want this fight because they love money. Listen, all sanctioning bodies love money. I'm not singling out the WBC, but they do. You know, they make special belts for huge fights. They always want to get involved, be at the forefront, have Mauricio Solomon holding the belt in front of the fighters, like this brand new, freshly made belt for Cinco de Mayo, and they even give a belt to the Pope. I don't quite know why the Pope would want a belt, but they did. And owners of airlines and whoever else, if they want to meet the Queen, I'm pretty sure they give the Queen a WBC title, right? But anyway, all that aside, of course they want money. Wilder vs. Fury Part 2 would generate more money than the first one, or at a guess anyway. Now, how well the first one done? Just by going by some numbers that's been thrown around, it didn't do great. And it could be the fact that because this is Deontay Wilder's first pay-per-view, he's not a household name, he doesn't bring anything to it. But Tyson Fury did so well, and he came across to the American fans and the British fans, of course, as well, as someone that they really want to get behind, somebody who they really want to watch fight. You know, with his backstory of where he was as a unified champion, beat Vladimir Klitschko, to the walking in the swamps, if you like, due to his mental health, the fact that he had like his drug allegation over him, and he ballooned up in weight, alcohol, drugs, all this kind of thing. And where he's come back, hey, listen, a lot of it is self-inflicted, as Tyson Fury quite plainly said in the very beginning. Don't feel sorry for me, I did this to myself. But of course, you didn't put mental health on yourself. Mental health is just one of those things. It just hits anybody at any time. But the backstory, a lot of people fell in love with the backstory and rooting for Tyson Fury to win. And going how the first fight went, Tyson Fury did get dropped on 2 occasions, but quite clearly he won that fight. And by the voting that the governors had at WBC, I think it's safe to say they agree that Tyson Fury should be the WBC champion. And I think that they realise that title is better around the waist of Tyson Fury. Why? Because it represents their company so much better, having somebody like Tyson Fury holding their title, opposed to Deontay Wilder, who's had it for 4 years, only had one mandatory. And even then, that one mandatory shouldn't have been a mandatory. Even Wilder said that Bermane Stiverne shouldn't have been mandatory, because he did bugger all since he lost the title. And it's a debatable loss to Derek Rossi. He got the win, but a lot of people say that he lost that fight. But anyway, so one mandatory in 4 years is pretty disgusting, when the WBC and most sanctioning bodies even want a mandatory done once a year, maybe once every 18 months. And to have only one in 4 years, WBC quite clearly not happy. Ever since he's got that belt, look at the opposition that he's fought against. And it is disrespectful the way that he's been defending it against lesser opposition. Not one fighter that he fought deserved a WBC title shot. Imagine had they won. Who wanted to see Chris Arreola as WBC champion? Who wanted to see Arthur Spilka? He even tried to make a fight with Andre Wojcik. He fought Eric Molina for the title. So the WBC obviously look at it, and they've given him pass after pass, and quite clearly I think now that they're starting to feel a little bit of heat, where the fans are saying, look, WBC, you've been letting this man get away with so much for so long, we've had enough. This is a legendary title that greats Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Muhammad Ali and Vitaly Klitschko and so on have won this title, and treat it with the dignity and the respect that it deserved by putting on great fights. Wilder hasn't done that. And when he got forced into the Luis Ortiz fight by Steven Espinoza and the WBC, yes, he got forced. Well, this is what Eddie Hearn said, because they had enough. They didn't want to see him fight Bermane Stiverne for a second time. Ultimately, that's what happened, but they forced Luis Ortiz on him because it's a name. Ideally, they wanted Joshua, but he didn't want anything to do with Joshua. He'd talk about Joshua, but didn't want to fight him. And when he fought Luis Ortiz, I think the WBC looked at it and went, man, you got exposed badly in that one. You got rocked terribly, and it looks bad on us. Okay? And when he fought Tyson Fury, again, this is a Tyson Fury, 70% fit? Not even close to being back to full match fitness. And he lost that fight and got gifted a draw. And this is where I think that the governors of the WBC who voted on this one realised that they want the belt around the waist of Tyson Fury, and they feel that Deontay Wilder got gifted a draw, people protecting. So now they're putting Wilder into a position of sink or swim now. No more cherry picks. Tyson Fury was a cherry pick that went wrong. You need to rectify this one or hand the belt over to him. Dominic Breazeale is being left out in the cold. Agree he should be mandatory or not. Fact is, he is the official mandatory, and yes, he is being hard done by on this one. That is for sure. But what's interesting about this is that the 60-40 split in favour of Deontay Wilder. Usually when they force a fight, the WBC, as in the mandatory, for example, it will be 70% to the champion, 30% to the challenger. So, for example, Wilder versus Breazeale, as Breazeale is the mandatory, he'll get 30%. Wilder gets 70%. Okay, but with Tyson Fury, they have made an exemption where Tyson Fury will get more because of what he brings to the table. As I said, he brings star power. He sold that first event. Wilder didn't. People don't know Wilder. It's as simple as that. All they know is some other dude is on social media shouting around at Anthony Joshua. That's all they know about Deontay Wilder. Okay, so Tyson Fury made that fight big, and the WBC were quite clearly impressed. Maybe they're at the point now where they've had enough of Deontay Wilder. Too much cherry picking, too much trash talk, how he wants a body on his record, and all this kind of thing. WBC are looking at him going, man, no, this is wrong. Listen, okay, we want a American champion, okay, but you're not representing it the way that the greats did. You're talking a big game. You've been offered stupid amounts of money for a huge fight with Anthony Joshua, and you're not even entertaining it. That looks bad on us because you're our champion. And second of all, we're not getting the kind of money that we should be getting from you. We're not making enough money from a heavyweight champion. Tyson Fury brings that. Okay, so yes, maybe they have had enough of Deontay Wilder. Obviously, we don't know that, and they're never going to admit it. But to give Tyson Fury an extra 10% and take 10% off Wilder, that should pretty much tell you all you need to know. I think probably ideally they'd love to make it 50-50, but Wilder is their champion. They don't want to come across as, listen, 50-50, we don't rate you enough as a champion. But quite clearly the WBC do recognise that Fury should have won, and that decision was terrible. But it's a big money fight. Now, the only way that Wilder can get out of fighting Tyson Fury as of today would be if he fights Anthony Joshua. Okay, that's the only thing that he has in his hand. It's Joshua or Fury. Breazeale is no longer an option for him. It's Joshua or Fury. So you must face a Brit. Ways that it can be relieved from him would be as if Tyson Fury pulled himself out of that fight. Then he can fight Dominic Breazeale. But while Tyson Fury's on the table, he must fight Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua. We say Anthony Joshua because it's unification. Unification takes precedence as such. Although the WBC may even refuse that one. They must say Tyson Fury, and that's it. You must fight Tyson Fury, unless Tyson Fury pulls out. Now, would Tyson Fury pull out? It's possible. Maybe he's not happy with a 60-40 split, but he can be happy if his team wins the purse bid. If it goes to purse bid on February the 5th and Frank Warren wins that purse bid, then the whole event is in the hands of Tyson Fury and Frank Warren. In other words, they can put it on whenever they want. wherever they want. They choose the ring size, they choose the gloves, they choose the ring mat, they choose everything. In other words, Tyson Fury can actually have his dream fight fighting in front of the Manchester crowd at Old Trafford, Manchester United Football Club. But will Frank Warren do that? Listen, in theory, he should be able to. I mean, he said that him and BT Sport will cough up 50 million just to give to Joshua to put on Joshua versus Wilder. Listen, that fight could never happen on BT Sport, but they were saying we had 50 million to give him, plus another 30 million for the rematch if he loses to Wilder. So that's 80 million. So there's no reason in the world why they can't win this purse bid. If they don't win it and put on a stupidly high offer, then quite clearly they don't have the kind of money that they want, or Frank Warren is giving in to Shirley Finkel, whatever. Okay? No, because he's friends, he doesn't want to upset him. Listen, we would do everything amicable. We don't want to go behind your back. We don't want to upset you, Shirley. So, let's just make a deal. But Tyson Fury, would he be happy with 40%? Well, on the first one, Wilder got 4 million guaranteed. Tyson Fury, 3 million guaranteed. As I said before, they get more through the pay-per-views. So just by 4 million to Wilder, 3 million to Tyson Fury, you can see that's not 50-50, right? What's that? 40-60, 55-45 in favour of Wilder. But 40% will be appealing to Tyson Fury, but Tyson Fury is not money hungry as such. I can't say the same about Frank Warren, that I don't know. But Tyson Fury, 40% and getting the fight at Old Trafford, I think he'd be quite happy with that. He'd be more than happy with that. But would Tyson Fury pull himself out? It's possible, because he may look at it and say, well, I can get 40% against Wilder and potentially earn X amount. But if I fight Joshua, because I'm also being offered 40%, as Eddie Hearn said, then I'm going to probably make double that amount of money. So it's a case of, does Tyson Fury want the WBC belt and bring that to the table for undisputed against Joshua, or do you want to go straight to Joshua? I mean, if he was to get Wilder and get that WBC belt, the fight would be even bigger, wouldn't it? Because undisputed, 2 Brits. Listen, of course. But, as I said, would Tyson Fury pull out the fight? It's difficult to say, really difficult to say. Again, Frank Warren, he's going to have a lot of say in this one. He could well be in Tyson Fury's ear, especially if he does go to purse bid and say, for example, Eddie Hearn bids for it or Top Rank bids for it. Well, if Top Rank bid for it, I don't think that Frank Warren would mind too much. But if Eddie Hearn did it and won, Frank Warren wouldn't be very happy at all. And he will convince Tyson Fury to pull out the fight. Tyson Fury, does he really care what network camera is pointing at him? Whether it's a Sky Sports, a DAZN, a Showtime, a BT Sport, an ITV, an ESPN. Does he really care? Probably not. It's a boxing ring, it's a fight. Why would Tyson Fury care about that? But Frank Warren may have a bit of sway with Tyson Fury. We don't know. I mean, time will tell. But to give Tyson Fury 40%, listen, he could well be interested. So Tyson Fury, as of right now, holds all the cards. And this is very obvious. If he took this to purse bid, because Tyson Fury could right now say, right, Wilder, right, we can negotiate right now. We can agree on a deal right now. It doesn't have to go to purse bid, but you're coming to the UK. If you don't come to the UK, then it's going to go to purse bid, and I'll force you to come to the UK. And if you don't come to the UK, you have no choice but to vacate that title. So the ball is entirely in Tyson Fury's hands right now. Entirely. So as of today, Wilder has got his back against the wall or in the corner, and it's either a case of fight Joshua or fight Fury. But Tyson Fury holds all the cards right now. Let's make a deal. Let's fight in the UK. If we don't make a deal, then I'm going to force you to do it. But again, he needs to put the thumb screws on Frank Warren to say, win this purse bid. Make sure you do everything that you can. I want this fight at Manchester. And then we'll really see what Wilder's made of. Because I believe Wilder doesn't want to travel. I know he makes a big hoopla about other champions fighting and calls himself a world champion, but other champions not. But yet he's never defended his title outside the US. And he looked like a deer in the headlights when he come to the UK. And that would be full advantage to Tyson Fury because Deontay Wilder didn't look comfortable when he went to Belfast. He didn't look comfortable. He looked scared, to be honest. I'm saying he was scared, but he certainly looked uncomfortable. He felt out of place. And a lot of that could be because of what he's been saying about British fans. Being racist and all this kind of thing, and how they prefer to have a white champion over a black champion. All the kind of nonsense that he's been talking. And for the fact some dude threw beer over him as he's walking through the crowd. I suppose that didn't help. No need for that kind of behaviour. Okay, but if he brings him to the UK, Deontay Wilder is going to be out of sorts. He's going to feel uncomfortable. This is full advantage to Tyson Fury, so he needs to jump on this one. He really does need to jump on it and make sure that Frank does everything that he possibly can to win that purse bid or negotiate it to come to the UK. So, anyway, that's kind of thoughts. WBC, have they had enough of him? Very possible, because it's unusual for them to do this. Very, very unusual. They did it to Canelo with Triple G. They did that to him originally, which is why Canelo fell out of the WBC and why he vacated the belt. Would Wilder vacate because he's being dictated to? It's possible. It's very, very possible. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Again, will Eddie Hearn bid for it if it goes to purse bid? Again, Frank Warren won't like that. So he could get in the ear of Tyson Fury and say, no, let's leave it. Or let's just accept this deal. Come on, let's go to Vegas. You can earn so much money. But Tyson Fury, as he said on numerous occasions, doesn't care about money. So anyway, time will tell. And while the WBC did this, again, it's all open for speculation, but it does seem to me, and a lot of you guys, that they've just had enough of Wilder. They've just had enough. You've been protected for far too long. We've been waiting for you to step up for so long. You had perfect opportunity to represent that title by going to Wembley in front of 100,000 people against Anthony Joshua, and you're not even responding to an email? Well, maybe now he'll respond. Maybe now he will. Anyway, have to wait and see. So you drop your thoughts below about it, click that thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the very next video.